All right, the first part I'd like to review in 5.3 of point slope form is how do we write an equation of a line if we were given. Yeah, go. If we were given a slope, so I'll say I have a slope that's equal to 7. All right, and I have a point on the line. Let's say that point is 3, 4. No, actually, let's make it 3, negative 4. So what do I do to do point slope form? Yeah, you remember?
You'd write y minus negative 4.
Yeah, could I do the general form first, and then we'll plug into the specific one?
Y minus y1.
Yep, he's right.
Equals m times x minus x1.
He's totally right. Remember, that's the general form for point slope form. Now, which one represents the y sub 1 and which one represents the x sub 1? Anybody can say.
Negative 4 is y sub 1.
You got it. Negative 4. This is the y sub 1.
3 is x sub 1.
And 3 is the x sub 1. He's absolutely correct. Does this ring a bell to everybody in the room? Yes? Does that ring a bell? Marcus? Okay, good. So we're going to plug in. We're going to have this. We're going to say y minus. The value of y sub 1 is negative 4 equals the slope, which is 7, times x minus 3. Now, the only part I have to clean up is this y minus a negative. What's a negative minus a negative? That's positive. You got it, yeah. So this is going to be y plus 4 is equal to 7 times x minus 3. That is in point slope form. I want to point out one important fact to you. And that important fact is that notice that the x was a value of 3. And it has now become a minus 3 inside the point slope form of the equation. So I'm going to draw a little connection between those. Do you see that? You with me on that part, yes? Yeah? And check out, this is a negative 4, correct? And notice now, look outside here, it's a positive 4. So I want to draw a connection to that to make sure that you do not get your signs mixed up. And look at the little cross in between them, make a little green little diamond there. All right? That's the first part. Who remembers that? Put your hands up if you remember that part. Let the record show like 88% of the people in the room say they remember how to do that. 81%? Oh. Okay, here we go. For this next one, we're going to graph. And we're going to graph this equation together. We're going to graph y minus 6 is equal to 2/3 times x plus 2. So we've been given this information, and it is in point slope form, because they give us a slope and a point. The first thing we need to do is identify the point. So, what is the point that's hidden inside this equation? Yes, Sergio. Wait.
Okay.
Yes.
X is 2/3 and y is 6.
You're
Negative 6.
you're close here. What's the x value on the scale? Yes, Kim. Negative 2 is the x value. Yes, that it represents the x sub 1. What's the y value? What's the y value? Positive 6. Yes, very good. Notice that they are opposite signs, right? Negative 2. Boo. Okay. I don't know what happened there. So there's my negative 2, opposite signs. And then I have the positive 6, which is the opposite sign of my negative 6 sign there. You with me on that? Now, what's the slope? Hello? What's the slope? 2/3. Very good. The slope is equal to 2/3. So, to graph this, here's what we're going to do. Go ahead and give yourself a coordinate plane, please. Oh, that was... Oh, whoa. Yeah, let's go there with it. All right, we're going to graph the point up on the coordinate plane. Okay, what's the point you put on the curve, or you put on the coordinate plane first? No, not the slope, not the slope.
Y-intercept.
No, we don't have a y-intercept in this case. We're going to use a point. What's the specific point? What? Negative 2, 6. Very good. Negative 2, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that point needs to go on there first. Negative 2, 6. Now from this point, from this particular point, we apply the slope. And you told me the slope was 2/3. So from that point, what do?
Graph it.
Yes, that's the whole point. I'm trying to graph it. What do I do to graph it?
Slope y.
Go up 2. Very good. That's what I want to hear. And then what?
Over 3.
Yeah, exactly. Go up 2 over 3.
Oh, and then go back to the original point, and then down 2, and then left.
You could. That is a technique. You could do that for sure. So there you go, and your line should look like that one. Copy this graph onto the page. We're going to look at this graph here. These are the 2 points that I want you to have on the page in question on the graph. Make sure that you have the point -1, 2. This is a point that's on that point's on the graph, and the other point that's definitely on the graph is this point over here, -3, -1. So make sure you put these points on the graph, -1, 2, and negative. Let's do analysis. Okay, we've been given this particular graph. We know that there are exactly these 2 points on the actual line. We know that -1, -1, 2 is on the graph, and we also know -3, -1. So Zach, tell me, if I'm going to write an equation that's in point-slope form, and again, point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, what will be a good place to start? Is there any information I can pick up from this graph, Zach, that I can put into my equation? Yeah, which point do you want to use, buddy? The top one. Fine with me. It's a great idea. Let's use this point here. Which one represents the x1? Try again. Yeah, there you go. This one. Which one represents the y1? You got it. Nice job. Let's plug these in. So I'm going to say y minus 2 equals m times x minus -1. Notice how I left it as a minus -1 here. I left it there for a reason, to demonstrate that the signs are going to change on you. That means you're going to have y minus 2 equals m times x plus 1. Now, Sam, there's one thing I have to do left. And that would be what? No, I don't need that. I need something. Find the slope. And Sam, what would be the slope that connects these 2 points? This point here to this point there. What do I do? 3, 2. What do you mean by 3, 2? I need you to specify. Go up 3 and over 2. Is that correct? Yeah, I go up 3, I go over 2. So what is the slope then, Sam? 3, 2? So what is it, Sam? 3 over 2. Which part is the rise, Sam? Going up 3. Which part is the run, Sam? So what's the slope? There you go. Thank you. So y minus 2 equals 3 over 2 times x plus 1. And this is the equation. Now, could you have used the other point? Yes, you could have. That's the cool part about point slope form. You get to pick whichever point you want to do. Sound good, everybody? You guys ready to do some work?
Yeah.
Sweet. That's what I'm talking about.